It was winter, and the League had already written their ending. As snow fell on broken seasons, and the faithful were told to look away. But Raider Nation does not look away. The silver was still cold, the black still heavy with history. 2 games remained, not for glory, but for judgment. The winds were gone, the pain well documented. Yet in the shadows of Christmas lights and the ticking clock of a dying year, something waited, the first pick, a reckoning, a weapon yet to be named. They called it a lost season. We call it the long night before the return. New year approaching, draft boards trembling. Silver and black does not die. It reloads.
All right, Raider Nation, it's midnight. That means it's officially Christmas, and you already know what that is. This is Midnight Raider Mass. No church bells, no silent night, just silver and black faith, bad decisions, spiked eggnog in full effect. If you're awake right now, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Tonight we're going to chop it up. Christmas vibes and all, the NFL, looking ahead to Raiders versus Giants, while we wait on Raider Claus to slide down the chimney and hopefully rip something up this season with what's left of it. Just don't get stuck up there, big guy. We already got enough problems. We don't need you stuck in the chimney. This is for the nation, by the nation. No scripts, no filters. The chat is wide open. The eggnog's flowing, and Christmas officially starts right now. So smash that like, the subscribe, get in the chat, tell us where you're checking in from, and let's get this Midnight Raiders Mass started, baby. What is going on, everybody, tonight? Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Figured I'd grace your presence with a midnight showing tonight. Normally I'm not on this late unless it's a Friday night, but figured it's Christmas Eve. I am nowhere near ready to go to bed anytime soon. I got to wait up for Santa Claus. I already told my granddaughter when she was here today. She goes, "Remember, Grandpa, we got to go to bed early." I said, no, you got to go to bed early tonight. I said, Grampy stays up late. She goes, why? I said, because if Santa comes to my house, I have to make sure that he's got his stuff together and that he's either gone to your house already or he goes there as soon as he leaves here because they live right up the street. So I'm like, so I have to make sure that if he doesn't go to your house, I send him there or I make sure he goes there. She goes, really? I said, yeah, sweetie. I said, so don't worry, Santa will be at your house tonight. Grampy will make sure of it. She's like, okay, Grampy. Then she gave me a big hug. It was adorable. Loved every minute of it. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year coming up, too. Happy Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever. Happy holidays, whatever your thing is. So that song that I just played and that I made a little YouTube short with, I was sitting here this after everybody had left for the night. And I was just playing around, and I'm like, I want to do something evil with Santa Claus. And as you can tell by the backdrop, as you can see, the evil dude. Big frigate. Let's have some fun with it. So let's check in. Let's see who we got here. We've got Raider Paul in the house. Give him that Raiders. Michael Guerrero, what's up, my guy? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Fupa Troopa, what's up? What's up? Let's see. Yeah, what's up, my guy? How you doing? Naughty list is locked. Do whatever you want. That's right. It's after midnight, baby. We can say and do what we want now. Ain't nobody going to stop us. Daniel Berry's in the house. What's up? Merry Christmas. Always a good night when I get to smoke some doobies and watch the big man. Well, I appreciate that. Randy N and the Broncos. What's up? Randy, make sure you check out my new show that's going to be starting a week from this Friday. It's going to be inclusive with other teams too. So if you want to get on the show, it's just going to be me. It's not going to be like a massive pull up with his 50, 10, or 12 or however many on the channel in the show. It's just going to be me and whoever I decide to bring in. So it's going to be kind of a closed show, but it's going to be open for anybody that's a fan of any team in the league. Doesn't matter. We'll talk your team. If your team's going to the playoffs, if you missed the playoffs, that's what that show is going to be about. It's not going to be so much of a Raiders show. So it's going to be a little different. What's up, Dixon Seta? God is good all the time, except if you're a Raiders fan. That's right. Mike's already hit it up. Fire Pete on Christmas. Oh, God, that'd be dirty. Yeah, Randy, January 2nd. I got a killer intro. A buddy of mine worked on for me. I produced the music for it, and he put all the clips together. I told him, I said, I wanted motion style. Like, I didn't want just like still photos. I wanted like teams running out of the locker room, out of the tunnel. Try and get as many NFL teams in it as possible. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. What's up, Travis? What's up, my guy? Merry Christmas to you also. Do I have it on here? I do. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. I've got a rough copy of it. I'm gonna play it for you guys right now. So the 24 that are in here, you're gonna get to see this for the first time. This is gonna be the intro for the new show. It's called No Huddle, no timeouts, no excuses. That's the tagline. So I'm gonna play the intro that my guy did up. Again, this isn't the official final one, but this is a rough copy. So here we go. So there it is. That's, like I said, that's a rough draft of what he came up with so far. He's going to hopefully finalize it, obviously, before the 2nd. But that's going to be the new intro for the next, for the Friday night shows going forward. So the traditional mic drop that we've been doing on Friday nights, we're doing one this Friday night, Chris and I. This is going to be the last one we do together. I think he's taking a little bit of a break. I think that format that we've been doing has kind of run its course a little bit. It just gets a little hectic sometimes with so many people on the chat, or not on the chat, but on camera, where it ends up just being a lot of people talking over one another. So I kind of wanted to cut back on doing that. Like I said, that setup was just kind of getting a little too much. So I think by doing it this way, and now I can broaden my reach is what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to bring more people into, the YouTube side of things. Like Randy, if he wants to come in next Friday, which I'm sure he probably will. Um, we'll talk up about his Broncos. I have no problem talking about other fans' teams, even if it's the Patriots. As much as I hate them, I'll still bring Pats fans in here and everything. So, Raider Paul, you can't. I got to be careful with music. So I have no problems with that song because I made the song, I produced the music, the whole 9 yards. So it won't be any copyright infringements because I own that personally. So any songs that you see going forward that we've done for any of the other shows, I've done all those different songs. So now there's no more copyright infringement issues. The only one that we need to fix is the Tuesday night show, The Most Notorious, because after the show's finished, about 12 hours later, I get the email saying, you're not monetized because, licensing for the song. So Will's got the video. I already sent him the song that we're going to use for that from going forward. So what's up, Damien? How we doing? So you guys like that intro? Mike likes it. Travis likes it. Cool. I like it. I think it's awesome. Yeah, no, trust me. Here's the problem. My original intro that Raider Savage did for me about a year ago with the ship in the water, and then it was was it AC/DC? Yeah, it was AC/DC. The Hell's Bells at the start with the bong, and then it goes into. I couldn't use that anymore. He had to actually switch the music to something different. That wasn't because I was getting copyright strikes on that one big time. YouTube wouldn't even sometimes show the videos until I changed the music. So YouTube's a pain in the butt when it comes to that, with the copyrights, with the music and everything. So you can never use like name brand type stuff. So I started using this program called Suno, Suno, and man, it's awesome. I could put the link in here because I got a bunch of songs in there published now. So if anybody wants to go ahead and listen to them, where's my profile? And I want to get what the hell is it? There it is. I'm going to put it in the chat for you guys. So if you guys want to check it out, you can see all the other songs that I've done too. Miller and Crosby to IR tomorrow. Who knows at this point? I know Cole Miller is listed as designated to return. So he is still technically on the IR. I forget the deadline on when, but I'm all in favor of sitting these guys at this point. I know I still want to see us win. There's no two ways about it. As a Raider fan, I still want to see us win and be competitive. But I want these guys healthy for next year. I don't want them, like Colt Miller. Like, what's the sense in him coming back for 2 games? So if they activate him, and he's been practicing this week, he's listed as limited. So if he's able to play, why play him? That's my feeling on that. I don't agree with it. He means, I've been saying this for weeks now since he's been on the IR. I said he means more to us in 2026 than he does him playing in 2025. So I don't want him out there. And not for nothing, the fact that they put Brock Bowers on there right now for the next 2 weeks, I'm okay with that one too. It wasn't like he was going to break any records, and personally, I mean, I'm fine with it. Crosby, I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. I know he's been having nagging knee injuries all season long, because he's always been showing up on the injury report with a knee, but he still played. But if it comes down to that too, it's like, why are we going to jeopardize, our better players for no gain whatsoever? We're not going to do anything on a team level that's going to help us at that point. So it just makes sense to just sit them the rest of the season. Frank Weber's in the house. Merry Christmas, Frank Weber. How you doing, brother? Um, so I'm okay with it. I have no problem with that. As far as anybody else going on the IR, I don't know who else you would put out there. It's a miracle Genti hasn't really been injured this season, uh, especially with the way he's been taking hits behind the line of scrimmage. And even when he's out there fighting for those yards. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe they do something with him, but I don't know. I know I did the stat work on it. He needs, I think it was 82 yards. He needs to average 82 yards the next 2 games to hit that 1,000 mark. He's already over that, over the 1,000 yards and combined. I think he's at like 1,100 between receiving and rushing. So, but I mean, still like to see him hit 1,000 yards. But again, I want him healthy for whatever we're going to do next year. You know, Frank says one of the few things that we can salvage from the season is experience for our younger players. Absolutely, and I've been saying this for weeks too. When the season, once we were eliminated from the playoffs, which was freaking weeks ago anyway, it made no sense why we're not getting these younger players out there, get them the play time. This is evaluation time, is what it comes down to. Let's evaluate the players that are on this roster. Let's see what we got going forward for next year. You know, even these second and third stringers that aren't rookies but are veterans, let's see the guys that, you know, we've got decisions to make for next year. You know, do we want to keep these guys? You know, do we want to bring them back? Do we want to just, you know, if they're free agents after this season, do we want to even offer them a contract or just let them go? You know, so I know I saw an article today on, it said how the front office has a decision to make with Parham. I don't know what difficult decision they need to make with that one, but there's a few linemen I don't want to see back on this roster next year. Parham's one of them. Cap is another. Forsyth. I want those guys gone. You know, let's bring in some more rookies on the offensive line in the mid part of the draft. Let's do some damage in free agency. But again, all this weighs heavily on what we do in the coaching category. You know, with the same thing with if we go for a rookie quarterback or not. Everybody, you know, I've been asked, I don't know how many times, whether it be on a show in the chat or in person, they'll ask me, well, who would you take with the pick, your first round pick? I don't know at this point. It all depends on who's going to be the head coach, who's the offensive coordinator, what type of system are they used to running, what are we familiar with them running, before I can make that honest decision. Or, you know, not decision, but make that honest choice as to who I think should be the guy. You know, so with that being said, I just defer until after, you know, after the bowl games are over, after the college playoffs are over. You still got senior bowls, East-West Shrine, the North and South game. You've got a lot of games still yet for these college kids to play that can change their rankings too, and put some good shows out there for, you know, for the scouts and for us as fans watching as to who's potentially going to be on this team next year, or who we want on this team next year. So, you know, you've got those games, you've got the combine, you know, then the final rankings come out. You know, we'll already know by then what's up with the coaching situation. That's all things you need to take in consideration. Best case scenario, actually worst case too, but we still need an offensive coordinator going into next year. So right from that, we don't even know what type of offensive system we're going to run next year, because we have no idea who the OC is going to be. I doubt it's going to be Olsen, you know, so we have to hire an OC already. So that's one thing we have to do, no questions asked, is we got to get an offensive coordinator. You know, if Pete's not here, now we need a whole new coaching staff. Because if Pete's gone, I want everybody that was on that coaching staff gone, Patrick Graham included. I know some people will be pissed when I say that, but how many regimes has he made it through on this team? I think it's time for him to set sail and we let him go. You know, put him in a dinghy and push him off the dock and see you later. Time to move on. Rorschach's in the house. Merry Christmas, brother. To you and your family, Jeff. Hopefully all is well with you and yours. Also to everyone else, Merry Christmas. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate everybody being here. I know it's a late night for some of you. I mean, it's 12:20 here on the East Coast. So it's what, 9, 9, 10, 11? No, it's 10. No, what the fuck time is it all? Was it 9:20, right? Yeah. So it's 9:22. So it's still kind of early for you guys. So, which is nice that you guys are here. I hope everybody had, if you guys celebrate Christmas Eve with your family, I hope everybody had a good night tonight. We do Christmas Eve. So my mother comes over, my mother-in-law, she comes over too. It's my wife, myself, my son, his wife, my 2 grandkids, my daughter, and my son-in-law, who obviously the those two live upstairs, and the dogs occasionally moving the dogs in and out, so they're not too much of an issue. What's up, Tanner? How you doing, my guy? Merry Christmas to you too. So, but we did something different this year that we haven't done since I was a kid, actually. My son-in-law made a lasagna today. It's like a freaking 10-layer lasagna. That thing was, I swear to God, he did it in such a deep dish. I mean, this thing had to be literally about this thick. It was just massive. It was good though. So we did a lasagna because tomorrow for Christmas Day, my son-in-law's family comes here. His mom and dad moved up to Maine a few years ago, so they just came down today. They're staying at his brother's house with the kids and with the grandchildren, so they'll get to see the grandchildren in the morning. But then my son-in-law's family, they all come here and we go upstairs with them and we celebrate Christmas with them. So it's more of a kind of hang around day. So you may see me on tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe. So I mean, there is football games on tomorrow. I know tomorrow night's game is going to kind of suck because the Chiefs are going so deep in their roster right now. So that's just not going to be fun. Let's see. Jeff, what I take from this abysmal performance from this season is your work in these live streams that you and your team does. It keeps me sane, and the laughter we share is hilarious. Dude, this, as bad as this season was for us, now that I've had a full season last season under my belt doing the YouTube thing, this season was a little bit more fun than last season because I was still trying to find my way through everything and what worked for me, what worked for me and the other guys that I did shows with and everything. And I feel like I've really grown into this now. And some of you guys have been with me from the start. Like Sacktown Mike's been around since day one. Rorschach's been around for a long time too. Frank, pretty much everybody that's in this chat's been here for a long time. Tana Jack's been here for seems like from the beginning too. Frank, I mean, everybody that's in here for the most part. Raider Paul popped in and out. Travis has been around for a good chunk of this year, and I appreciate, anybody new that's come into this, this season. This is what I appreciate. No, and I appreciate everybody too. I mean, because without you guys, I wouldn't be here. So, I mean, you guys make my night when I come on and do these shows. It's just so much fun doing this. I can't wait till we start winning games on a consistent basis because the shows will get even more fun because now we'll have upbeat, positive conversations instead of the same old, we sucked this week. Offensive line looked horrible this game. Defense couldn't do shit. Quarterbacks throwing it to say, it's so much negativity, but yeah, it's the interaction with the chat that makes it tolerable to do these shows. Because again, without you guys, the shows would be flat. I would just sit here and just like, yeah, we're no good. But you guys bring up a lot of good things to bring up on the show. And like I said, I appreciate each and every one of you that's here. So thank you all for that. And anybody that's been watching the last few days, as my Christmas gift to people that watch the show, I've been giving out memberships. So I've given out 40 memberships in the last 3 days or so. Well, it's taken a hit. So, but yeah, I've been giving out free memberships. And that's the other thing too, Tanner, as we start winning, yes, it'll bring more people into the channel, hopefully, or, to shows that I do with other people too. So it'll help spread the love. It'll help spread the love on Wednesday nights when I do the Raider Connection, Tuesday nights when we do the Most Notorious podcast. I know that's kind of like a niche thing because we do more talk about the black hole and chapter events. And some people that are in our normal chats that aren't in the black hole might not find that as interesting, and I get it. I get it, which is why we kind of break it up as best as we can. And we still talk about the team and everything. But it's also, we talk about the travel experiences that everybody has, like this past weekend, Leo and Will were in Houston. We talked about that at great length on Tuesday night. The week before, I talked a lot about my trip to Philly with the wife and how much fun we had, even though the weather was shitty and cold and we were horrible as a team. It was everything that we did with the nation, that made that trip worth it. Just like with Leo and Will, but they at least caught a good game. They caught a competitive game that we were in right to the very end. So I'm jealous of them on that, But yeah, and again, that's why I'm expanding and changing my plans for the Friday night shows going forward, to bring more people in. So we start to show a little bit more interaction in the chat too, between fans of other teams and you guys who are mostly, pretty much all Raider fans in here. So it opens it up. It opens us up to, other fans. So the one thing I am going to say is any of my moderators that are in here on Friday nights when that show starts, if a fan from another team comes in and starts talking shit, don't boo them right away. Let me talk to them first and, let them understand that this isn't a Raider themed show. This is an NFL football fan themed show. So if they want to talk about their team, be respectful, So, I mean, obviously, if someone comes in and starts being racist and all the other bullshit, you guys got free reign to do whatever the hell you want with that. But if they're coming in saying, look, the Raiders suck and, this and that, I get it. Brandon, I can't believe you're streaming tonight. Santa ain't coming for me, so I already got all my stuff. I already got all my gifts and everything tonight. So I will tell you this. Some of the stuff I did get is this was from my daughter and my son-in-law. It's actually a phone charger with a little pen holder. I got, anybody's a fan of Fallout here? Anybody fan of Fallout? The series or the game? But I got this from my granddaughter. My daughter and my son-in-law took her shopping for the whole family. So they took her to go buy for her mom and dad, her little brother, my wife and I, my mother, and she saw this. My daughter kind of had to push her towards it. So it's one of the characters from Fallout. They usually are bobbleheads, but it's supposed to be like a phone holder or a device holder. So I got that up here next to Gorilla Rilla and the Violator. What else did I get? I can't show it to you because it's too goddamn big. I did have it set up behind me earlier. And I did have the backdrop that you're seeing. I had that as like a green screen behind me because my daughter and my son-in-law actually bought me a green screen for Christmas. This thing is massive. It's on a tripod. It's got the metal rods and the clamps to hold it down. I just got to figure out how I'm going to set it up in here. I'm going to have to move some stuff around because I did have it set up before I did the show. And what was the green screen behind me showed the image that you're seeing in the background on the screen, showed it clear up until this point because the green screen was behind it. So you could still see everything that you're seeing here. So I have to figure out how to hang that curtain in a certain way so I can get it tucked underneath here. So it fits right. But yeah, the thing's huge. It's what was the size on it? I think it was like 8.5 feet by like 10 feet. And if I extend it all the way up, it's going to be about 6.5 to 7 feet tall. but the green screen is so big that I can drape it right to the floor and then pull it out so like I can stand on it. So even if I can make it look like I'm standing on the field in Allegiant Stadium, if I have that set up as the background. So like I can look like I'm standing actually on the turf. So I can be really creative with this thing, because between my tripod for my phone and that, I can set this up in the living room and do some real crazy stuff. So that's another thing that's broader, mhm, broadening my ability to do more content stuff and more stuff that's enticing for people. So it's gonna be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. So I got some ideas already. So that's the one thing. I'm not artistic. Like my dad had an artistic flair. He could draw and do shit like that. My grandfather could paint. All my artistic stuff is in my head, and then it's just a matter of me converting it to, making it come true. You know. So, but yeah. So I I'm just trying to come up with different things to do for the future. I'm still I want to try and come up with something where we do a charity too. And that's why I want that Friday night show to really take off so I can do more of a give back to the community or to, communities within Raider Nation to help spread the word and do some other things too, you know. Yeah, there's another idiot. Yep, see you later. What's up, Mark? Merry Christmas, man. Merry Christmas to you. What's up, Ramey Winter? What's going on? Yeah, so it's I want to be able to do more community type based stuff like fundraisers and charity work. Our TBH chapter in New England, we adopted Devin's family, Little Raider. We adopted their family for adopt the family for Christmas. So the chapter, members of the chapter either donated money and we turned that into getting gifts for the kids for Christmas. Um, the wife and I sent a bunch of stuff down there. I got to get in touch with him after Christmas because the Black Hole sent him a package that I helped work on getting sent to them. Um, and he hasn't opened it yet. I want to get him on a live show and have him do a live unboxing on a live show for him and Little Raider because I know they're going to absolutely love what's in it. So let's see. Rosh says, I believe we all get it. Is that you want to grow? My last long message to you was in all seriousness. No, I agree. And I'm not looking to like some people some people are into doing the whole YouTube thing to hit it big and make it. I want to get to the point where I get bigger and get a bigger following so I can give more. I want to do more for people. I want to use this platform for a good thing. I've been working on basically a whole plan that I want to do throughout the year next year on how I'm going to do that. So it's not going to be strictly just Raiders football content. I'm going to start to encompass other things too, but my main focus is still going to be the Raiders. I'm still going to stick to the shows that I've been doing during the week. The Notorious, the Raider Connection, Nate and I on Coast to Coast. Some of the other shows are going to switch up. Like there's no more Last Call. The Last Call is done. The Monday Morning Quarterback is done. We're not doing that anymore. For the next 2 weeks, we are switching on Mondays. We're going to do it's called Monday Madness. It's a night show recapping the Sunday game. It's myself, Jason Downs, and Donuts Duncan. What's up, T fam? What's up, my guy? Let's see. He said, glad you jumped into Raider content, man. Yeah, I mean, I started YouTube about 3 years ago, actually, but I was doing content like I can't even reach it. It's up top there. I mean, I was doing content where I was making, you can see the paints hanging on the wall there. I was doing military models, so I was doing a lot of content with that. It just wasn't grasping. And then out of nowhere, I'm just like, why am I doing this when I've been a Raiders fan since 75? I said, why don't I switch to Raider content? I know I'll get I know I can get involved with that. I mean, I can talk Raiders with the best of them. So I'm like, you know what? Let's make that switch. So I made the switch, and I started at the right time last year. The team was shitty. There was so much to talk about: the good, the bad, the ugly, and all the other crap going on with it. The coaches, you know, the mid season switch when we switched OCs, just like we did this year. So there was just a lot to be involved with, and I got involved with Leo early on. Turf was one of the first shows I ever went on. So I owe a lot to those guys. Like Leo, I owe the most to, man, because without Leo, um, I wouldn't have been exposed to as much as I was. And the other thing too is Nate's been my guy from the start. Before I even started doing live shows, I was just looking through Raider content, and I saw something that he did, and I'm like, this kid's good. And I messaged them. We talked back and forth. We exchanged phone numbers. We actually talked on the phone, and I pitched them the idea of, let's do a show together. I said, what do you think about that? I said, I think it would work because we got two different thought processes here. I bring the old school, flair to it. He brings the young gun, modern era thing, fling to it. And we named it Perfect because East and West Coast. So we did the coast to coast. So it was just perfect, So Nate and I have just hit it off. And it was great actually getting to meet him for the first time in person when he came out here to New England. And we had a blast. He's a good kid, man. So you, my brother, are a great person. I figured it out when I first saw a couple of episodes with you. You have a big heart and you just want to give back because you feel you have to. That is, yeah. And it's true because that's, that is what separates you from all the others. All good things come to those that are just genuine. It's, what's up, Diesel? Merry Christmas, brother. I've always been that way. I mean, I guess a lot of it probably had to do with, with me being in the fire service and trying to help and do as much as I can for people. And Christ, there was a time where this is going back into the late 80s, early 90s, where I played Santa Claus for the longest time for the fire department. And we would drive around our section of the town with me dressed as Santa, sitting on top of the truck back when the cabs were open and we could do that. Now everything it's all enclosed, so you can barely even see Santas in the truck. And we used to stop every house that a kid came out or a kid was at the front door. I'd get off the truck, walk over, give him a candy cane, talk to him for a little bit. So it's always been some sort of like community involvement for me. So it's just the way I am, I guess. So when you open Christmas presents this year and it's Raiders gear, attire, etc., are we as excited as we normally would be? I get you. It is, but you know what? It's Raider gear. The gear has no reflection on how the team's doing. So, you know, I, I guess it's okay. you know, um, I just, I don't know. You know, Rush X says no, it's not. What did I get for Raider stuff? I got this, the Charger, and I got that. What else did I get? Um, this is funny. So I'm opening gifts, right? So my wife hands me one that's from her. I open it up, and it's a Fanatics. It's a long sleeve pullover with like a quarter zip, but it's really thin. It's like a dry fit. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I like this, right? So I put that aside with the other stuff, right? And I get a box over from my mother, and I open it up. It's the same exact pullover that my wife just gave me. Exact same thing, same size, from the same place, the whole 9 yards. I'm like, now what? So I don't know if I'm gonna probably only keep one of them, obviously, but it was funny that they both got me the same thing. They both ordered it about the same time. Had no clue that either one of them were getting it. I think they both items came in like Monday or Tuesday, so I thought that was funny. But one of the things my wife got me, um, it's what they call a job sweat in the fire service. It's a pullover. It's usually got denim elbows. It's got pockets all over it. And for the fire service, they've always been blue, like a like a dark blue. Well, I've always wanted a black one. So she found one. It's actually a 511, so it's an official like first responder type issued stuff. So I've always wanted a black one. She found one and she got it. And I opened that up tonight. I'm like, this is perfect. Because now I can wear that underneath my vest during the cold weather. I wish I had that 2 weeks ago. But I can wear that now because it's black. I can wear that under my vest when during the rest of this winter. Um, but I'm also going to put a couple of patches on it. I'm probably going to put a fire department patch on it still, but I'm definitely going to put some, like the black hole chapter patch on it and shit. So I can even wear that if I don't have my vest. So it's pretty cool. They're comfortable as hell too, and they're warm. So what's up, 87 Nada? What's going on, man? Keep them both and just save one for when the other wing's out, I guess. Yeah, it was just funny. And then the other thing my mother got, it was such a goofy little thing, but it's gonna go on the car. I'm gonna do it. It's a little Raiders hoodie sweatshirt that goes over the gear shifter. It's just the goofiest looking thing, but I'm like, yeah, I'll put it on the car. I'll put it on the gear shifter. I don't care. I've not bought any Raider gear this year, and that is amazing because I usually do save my money for next season. Yeah. What have I don't know if I haven't really bought myself anything. The wife bought me this when we were in Philly. Yeah, no, I don't think I bought anything. No, I've been doing buying more stuff like this. My selfie stick that's a tripod. This thing, I'll tell you what, man. If you're looking for one, this thing's perfect. And I bought a separate holder for the phone because I needed it bigger because the case on my phone is so damn big. So this thing just cranks right out like a vice. It's awesome. Yeah, this thing it extends out to like 5.5 feet tall, tripod, the whole 9 yards. So this worked great in Philly, especially when we were in the tailgate. I was able to extend it all the way up and just hold it over the crowd. So it looked like it actually, when I watched the videos, it looks like it's from a drone because I'm so high up holding. I mean, I'm 6 feet, and then I extend my arm out, with this thing being 5 feet, so that thing's like, 12 plus feet up in the air over everybody. It's pretty cool. But so, do we want to talk about the Raiders? Do we want to talk about the game this weekend? Do we want to talk about how good we kind of looked, even though we didn't win on this past Sunday? I will take my cues from you, gentlemen, tonight, and ladies, if there's any ladies in here. I gotta upload a couple. Oh, all right, yeah, definitely. Yeah, hit me up. I can get my address, and then when I get your address, I can send you some of mine too. I think one of the other things I'm gonna be thinking about doing too is I want to take my logo and make shirts, but I want to take a percentage of the proceeds and put it towards a charity. So I at least get the money back for what it cost me to make the shirts, and then a little bit towards the charity. That's I just got to decide how and when I want to do that. My lady got me a custom jersey with my social media handle Nada and the number 87 being my birthday for Christmas. Oh, awesome, dude! 87. I was a senior in high school that year. Well, what's up, Ben? Merry Christmas, brother, to you too, man. So, yeah, I just figured, like I said, I'd get on here, give you guys a little chance because I know it was a little boring tonight. There was really, I don't think is anybody even still on right now? I don't think there is there? Nah, there ain't nobody on now. Let's see. What's up, Tyler? Hey, what's up, Jeff? Hope you're having a great Christmas. Yeah, I had a good day. Like I said, the family was here. Uh, I had my grandson on laying on my chest for a good part of the afternoon, tugging on. Man, he was ripping hairs out of my mustache. He was pulling so hard, but he's a, he's a tank. That kid. He was born in May. He's already over 20 pounds. He's a monster. He's already getting up on his knees. He's already rocking and everything. So he'll be crawling real soon. We need to bench Gino and Max and just run the youngsters out there. Just tank, baby. We need the number 1 or 2 pick. Well, we already got the number 2. So, I mean, this is the legit toilet bowl this weekend with us and the Giants. So was my oldest brother, Fred. He's a big Raiders fan. I was, oh, that's cool. I got no brothers and sisters, man. I'm an only child. So I didn't have to share shit, which was nice. And I didn't grow up a spoiled brat. Look at that, right? I was doing my second tour in the Army in '87. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Mark, you're a couple of years older than me. Any key Giants players not coming to Vegas? Oh, you know what? I did see that earlier too. Shit. Hang on, I'll find it. I know I saw it. Nope, not that one. Give me one moment. Giants injury report. Let's see what they got. Here it is. What the fuck? Where the hell did that thing come from? A big ass fucking bee flying around in here. Oh, that ain't no bee, motherfucker. Hang on, folks. I can't pop this fucker, so I'm gonna pick him up carefully. It's a fucking stink bug. Hang on, I'll be right back. I throw this shit in the toilet. Sorry. Buzz Brown like a goddamn bee. All right, I got the report. Let's see. Fuck, man. Last thing I need to do is pop one of those fuckers in the house. They stink. Share screen. Let me move this off. Let me just catch up with the chat here. It's 9:48 p.m. here in California. Just have tomorrow off. Have to go back to work Friday. Yeah, my wife's got to work Friday too, but she works from home. What's up, Raider Ryan? Happy holidays to you too. Oh, Jet, that is nanotechnology spying on you because you're a Raiders fan. Let me make this bigger on here. All right, so let's see who we got. Max's did not participate. Tyler Lockett's full practice. Colt Miller is limited. Moser, ankle and knee, did not participate. Caleb Rogers limited. I'm not worried about Rogers. He'll be fine. All right, so for the Giants, Evan Neal, neck, Tyler Newman, defensive back. Let me see. I don't know enough about their defensive players, so I don't know if these guys are any good or not. So we've got DJ Davidson, Evan Neal, Tyler Newbin, John Michael Schmitz, Andrew Thomas, all of them did not participate in practice on Wednesday. Tay Banks and Cordell Flott, both were limited defensive backs. Rakeem Roche's ankle toe limited. Offensive line, John Azudo, full practice. And then linebacker, Demetrius Flanagan Fowles, full practice. So I don't think there's any. I think everybody's coming out here for it. I don't see anybody. Nobody's saying anything in the chat on it either. No. Yeah, looks like we're good. Ooh, I don't want that full screen. Fucked up. That's better. What about that one? Nope. 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 And dang it. Let's go with that. I want you to see the whole background. That's why. That was pretty badass. Let's see, Jeff, curious. When you played ball, did you ever wear number 51 in homage to 51? No. High school, my number was 67. And when I played semi-pro, I always wore number 75, and that was for Howie. Actually, I was in the middle of a game the day that he got inducted into the Hall of Fame, too. Wasn't even able to watch it. I had to record it on the VCR that day. They need to sit Colton. Someone needs to try to talk Max out of playing to start rehab for his injuries. And I absolutely agree. We started the show off with that basically because that came up about with Bowers being on the IR now. Who was the other one they put on IR? Shit. We just said it. Didn't we? Oh no! Somebody said with Bowers in the IR, should we keep Miller on? Because Miller's designated to return for this weekend. I don't know what day they have till to activate him. But man, just keep him on it. Just keep him on. You know, and again, it's a miracle Genty hasn't gotten hurt this season with all the hits he's taken and hits he's given and taken at the same time. I just don't want to see this kid ruined for next year. You know, 2 meaningless games. You know, I get we want to see what we got. We know what we're getting with him. You know, he's going to be productive. You know, and again, I think this year it's not necessarily the players that are out there on the offensive line. I think it's about 80%, maybe 70% coaching as to why this line is that bad. Parham I've always disliked. Kappa's trash, you know, but with better coaching, I mean, look what happened last year. I just don't get how is an offensive line, when you had a majority of the line returning from last season, regress so much. You know, I'm sure a lot of it had to do with Chip Kelly's system that they were running possibly, but I think it's the coaching. You know, you change that coaching, you know, just try it. If you were to move Brendan Carroll out of there and you put Philbin in as the offensive line coach, I think that would make all the difference in the world. You would see a different offensive line. This past weekend, I don't know what they did prior to, but the line looked pretty damn good. Not great, but they were good. Look what Genty did. You know, granted, he had one long ass run, but even if you take that out of the equation, he still had a really good day. You know, we gave him the ball a lot. You know, 24 touches. That's huge. Absolutely huge. Yeah, it's definitely the coaching. There's no two ways about it. You know? So I'm just praying that, you know, when the season's over, when Black Monday hits, Pete Carroll comes out and says, I retired. I'm retiring. You know, and, you know, wink, wink, I'm retiring. You know, it's the Raiders saving face, not firing another head coach. You know, out of respect to Pete Carroll, not having that on his resume that he got fired, you know, that he's deciding to retire and it's time for him to move on. You know, I feel that early season shoulder hit Genty took will haunt him. Saying this as an ex running back, it had a bad look. I mean, I'm sure he's hurting. I'm sure he is. He's taking some serious lumps. I I've been following him since he's been on YouTube, and since he's been with us, he's been on. You know, he's been gone for the last few weeks though. I haven't seen him on YouTube for the last few weeks, but he showed up on Monday afternoon. He was on live, and he was sitting there, basically just talking with the chat, catching up. But there was barely anybody in the chat. There was only like 40 something people in there. So, which was cool because I was, typing messages and he was seeing them right away and he was responding back as I was saying what I was saying. And then his girlfriend showed up, Gabrielle, and she's the one that my wife met in the bathroom at the Eagles game. And I made mention of it in the chat, and she's reading the chat too. She goes, she goes, I don't remember names. She goes, but I remember that. She goes, she even said to me, she goes, my husband's gonna flip when he knows that I met you. So yeah, so I mean, she remembered that. So the fact that she's sitting there reading the chats with them, but you could see in his face. Now like I said, I've been watching him for a while, especially during the season, whenever he goes on live. And this session he did live, he was like a completely different person. He was upbeat, he was smiling, he was happy, he had a hell of a game. And I think that game on Sunday gave him that big boost of confidence that, hey, I can do this. Like look what I can do when I'm given the opportunity. So I have a lot of hope for this kid going into next season. If he hits 1,000 yards, he hits 1,000 yards. I'm fine with that. I can't blame him for what's happened this season. This wasn't all on him. It was, I think, the play calling, us not committing to the run, but it's also us being down so fast and by so much that we have to give up on the run and attempt the pass like crazy, which then increases interceptions, increases the 3 and outs, which then makes AJ Cole have to kick the ball more, so it's like, it's not all on him. And some people have really been ragging on the kid. It's not him. He's got the ability to do this. If we had just an average offensive line, he'd already have like 1,300 yards rushing, if not more. He'd be way ahead of all the other rookies. It just sucks that we took him and now he's got no shot of winning Rookie of the Year. Absolutely none. We all thought he was going to be Rookie of the Year by far because of just his God-given talent. But talent alone can't get you, can't get us to where we want him to be, unfortunately. But we've seen flashes of it. Once he gets outside the tackles, he hits that second level. See ya. He's either going to outrun you or he's just going to make one cut and you're on your ass. So I mean, we saw that both in the running, that long ass run he had, and in the reception he had for 50 plus yards. So the kid's got skills, man. Alignment lost confidence and leadership when the coaching started shuffling dudes. Oh, definitely. That hits a player sometimes more than people realize because you yourself think you're doing a good job, and also the coach goes, this isn't working, because of what their vision is, and they go and move you to a different position. That sits in your psyche, man. That'll drive you nuts. I think that Caleb Rogers, since he's been in and showing improvement and how good the kid really is, I think he's gained a lot of confidence since he's been allowed to play. He should have probably been starting sooner too. I had predicted he'd be starting by the bye week, and I was off by a few weeks. Yeah, I get no complaints about Genty. We just were not ready to draft him. That's the problem. We didn't do anything in the free agency ahead of the draft, and we didn't do enough in the draft, to address the offensive line, which is why I didn't want to take a running back at number 6. It had nothing to do with Genty. I just didn't want to take a running back at number 6. I would have been fine with trading back a little bit and get something for it, get some extra picks, and then build this team the right way. And we just did not do that. I mean, if we honestly thought that Kappa was going to be the answer for us on the offensive line, then I don't know what the hell Pete Carroll and Gino and whatever involvement Spy Tech had in that, because I know Spy Tech was, was around in Tampa when he was playing for Brady. So Brady had an effect on that. It's just didn't seem right. And then we bring in Forsythe once Colton Miller goes down. Forsythe hasn't been like a complete disaster, but he hasn't been the best either. Arm tackles are not going to stop. Oh, hell no, arm tackles aren't stopping Genty. I mean, he had that one run Sunday where he was still plugging along with those legs. Man, I think he picked up like another 5 or 6 additional yards on that one play. There's another play he almost broke. If the defender didn't swipe at his feet and kind of trip himself up, he would have been gone. What's up, Marcus? How you doing, my guy? Merry Christmas to you, Marcus. Lots to like about that Rodgers kid. I love the kid. The first game when he got in there, and I really paid attention and watched him as much as I could, and then I watched 805's film breakdown in the war room that week, and I saw what this kid's got. This kid's got a good base frame. He's got good footwork. He's a big, strong kid. He was holding his own out there, So I'm happy with what I saw. Not so much in the Philly game because nobody in the Philly game played good. Absolutely nobody. The only one that had a decent game was our punter, was AJ Cole. The rest of the team was just flat, looked like shit. Max had a sack. We were getting blown out from the start. Which is another amazing thing with this weekend's game. The fact that Gino threw that pick six so early in the game and we were already down 7-0. Usually those are the type of plays that kill us, and we can never, because we just haven't had the offense all season where if we go and fall behind by one score, our offense can't keep up. And I didn't think we were going to with the defense Houston has. But somehow we did it, and we stayed competitive throughout that entire game, right up to the last few seconds. We had a shot to win that damn game. Take that pick six away, we win that game. If Gino doesn't throw that, we win that fucking game. And by more, because that drive would have continued at that point if he didn't throw that pick six. So that was a totally winnable game last Sunday. 100%. Bueno, what's up? And don't bring up the Fantasy Football League. I'm already pissed I lost the rafter this week. I've had such a great season all year. Me and Nate both got knocked out. Fuck. Merry Christmas, Bruno. Let's see. Let's see. Ready, Jeff, appreciate the gift of membership by Man and Merry Christmas. I know we need another QB, but wanted to know your thoughts on getting Cam Miller some snaps maybe next year. Well, you're very welcome for that. Like I said earlier, this week I've been gifting out as a Christmas gift to the people that watch my shows. I gifted out like 40 memberships. I did make a new membership. It's a 99-cent one. So I'm trying to make it affordable for everybody. So instead of, like some people do, I don't go any more than $2.99 right now. I'm sticking at the $2.99 as that's the top tier. So that one there, you get everything access. I just wanted to be a little bit more, affordable for people too. As far as your take on Cam Miller, I don't see why not at this point. But here's the problem. Pete's not going to bench Gino. I can't see him benching Gino these last two games. If he does, I'll be shocked. We've already seen when Gino had that leg issue a couple of months ago, and he was out there on one leg, and we had a chance to win that game. We were in that game too to the very end, and he didn't pull him. He came out for like one play, I think, and two plays, 3 plays, whatever it was. But he was right back out there again, and he's not going to bench him. We've already seen he's not going to bench him. Gino's thrown 3 or 4 interceptions in a game, sacked like 10 times, 6 times, whatever, and he still doesn't come out of the game. Gino, I will say this: Gino's taking a beating, unfortunately. And at his age, that's a lot of hits to take. That's a lot, and some of them, a majority of them, are his fault because he doesn't know how to move. But I will say, when Pickett was out there, Pickett had a better pocket presence than Geno did. You know, when he was playing, the Philly game, he was still able to get away from some of those potential sacks. Cam Miller, I would expect him to possibly do the same thing too, be able to, have a better pocket presence, and he's younger and he's faster to get the hell out of there. I mean, the kid's got some speed. I wouldn't be opposed to letting Cam Miller play. Why not? What do you got to lose? We got to evaluate these young guys, especially in the quarterback position, because let's face it, we're not good at quarterback, plain and simple. And if we whiff on one this upcoming draft, we're right back in the same boat. We still wouldn't know technically what we have with Miller. All we've seen is what he's done in preseason, and those against other guys that either aren't going to make the squad or they're going to be practice players, practice squad guys. So it's like you still haven't seen what we possibly have in Miller. So I agree. I don't see why we can't get him out there. Respect to you too, man. The fact that both our teams are garbage and we're both still sticking around talking about our teams. Let's see. What else is there? Pros and cons of firing coaching staff. Pros, none of them will be here next year. Cons, can I even come up with one? I don't know if I can, to be honest with you. Because what good have they done? Seriously, what good has this coaching staff done at all this season? They haven't won that many games. We won 2 games. Yeah, all right. I see that, Mark. Cons rebuilding again. I guess the true pros would be that it would be a whole new regime coming in here that might have a different style to hopefully push this team in the right direction. We all thought we were getting that with Pete Carroll, but I think Pete Carroll is maybe just a little too soft for this team and for what the Raider mystique is. I mean, again, we're talking about a guy that doesn't even recognize the fact that the Raiders Broncos is a rivalry. He came right out and said it himself, so it's not like I'm making this shit up. Everybody knows he said it. So, was he the right coach for this team? I thought he was at first, but found that out quickly. I told you he lost me after the first preseason game in that press conference. After that press conference and how he explained how they're evaluating the offensive line, after what I saw on the field and with the first string offensive line and how awful we were, and there was no bona fide commitment to fix anything other than, let's move JPJ out of center and put him here, put this guy here, move that guy over there, bench this guy. Oh, JPJ is going to compete with Kappa. The Kappa is this. He lost me there. I guess the other cons would be starting all over again. But if we're starting all over again, I want an offensive-minded young head coach, especially if we're going to draft a rookie quarterback. I want that quarterback and that coach to grow together and build something good with this organization going forward. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that if we do let Pete Carroll go or he retires, I'm hoping that's the direction we go with this. Let's see. Marcus, did you take the bow tie out for the Christmas spin? Yeah, he did. Brother. Let's see. Yeah, Conjury building. Yeah. The only pros I see is that the season is almost over. Yeah. Well, I was watching Chris and them on their show, and they asked the question is, what the hell did they say? How did they word it? I forget what it was, but my answer was something to the effect of the seasons. Oh no, what the fuck? How did he word it? Because my answer was to just have the season. I just want the season over now at this point. I want it over with because I want to see the direction that we're going to possibly go in the future. Are we staying status quo with what we have for coaching? Are we going to make that change? And if we don't make any changes on the coaching staff, other than like I said earlier, we know we have to hire an OC. Who's that going to be? What are we going to bring in? What system is this guy going to want to run? Are the quarterbacks we have on the roster now workable? Does that change who we're looking at for the drafting of a quarterback? Because everything's based on what that OC is and what they want to run. Because Mendoza might not be the right one for whatever comes in for the OC. It might be Moore that's the one that's better suited for that one. So again, we're stuck in this like pickle that right now we really can't. I can't say too much as to like I want this guy. I could tell you I'd want an offensive lineman in the draft. That I would. I want either in free agency or in the draft. I want to draft an actual true center. So if we can't get Lindenbaum, because that's going to be a tough hill. That's a tough hill to climb to try and get him. And I'll explain that in a second. Or we go for a kid that, the best center that's in the draft, just don't reach for him. Best center that's in the draft, someone that's played center for a majority of his college career. Because remember, JPJ only played one season as a center, and that was his senior year. Everything else was guard. We drafted him as a guard. Okay? But getting back to Lindenbaum, here's the problem with this. They didn't take his fifth-year option, which means he's an unrestricted free agent. But they could still franchise tag him. And if they franchise tag him, that sucks for him because he's only going to be making an average of whatever the top number of centers salary is. I don't know the specifics on it. So that sucks for him in a way because then he'll never get paid what he really is worth. Unless we can somehow, actually, if they franchise him, there's nothing we can do. We can still offer him money, offer him a contract if they don't franchise him, and then it's up to them if they want to match or slap the franchise tag on him. I just want to be all in on him. That's the one guy in free agency that I want to go after is Lindenbaum because I think the kid, he's worth it. He's shown that he's worth it. He's going to be the top one out there, and we've got some money to play with. So we sinking into this kid. I'm telling you that's the way I want to see this going forward. Is Pete wrong about it not being a rivalry? The whole AFC has been putting belt to ashes. No, and I get that. A rivalry is when you're back and forth. You're winning one, they're winning one. And we've just been getting smoked the last few years from all three teams in our division. I get that. But you got to go back through Raider history, Raider lore, how much of a competition it was always between us and the other three teams in our division. For the longest time, we owned them all. Where they weren't winning consecutive seasons against us or consecutive, like the Chiefs. The Chiefs have owned our number for a long time now. The same thing with the Broncos. I mean, Christ, it's 2 years in a row now. We're going to go 0-6 unless we beat the Chiefs last game of the season, which could still happen because they're struggling. No Mahomes, no pick and chew. I don't even know the name of the quarterback they got playing. I have no idea who the hell it is. That I don't even care. Straight up, Jeff. Move JPJ. Shake my. Yeah, Jeff. Why the hell did we ever get rid of Bill Musgrave? I honestly thought he was an amazing OC. To get him back somehow. I don't know, man. I think the ship has sailed on possibly getting him back. I'm willing to bet he wouldn't want to come back here now. It's a miracle that Patrick Graham has survived. 4 or 5 different head coaches, interim coaches. I can't believe that he's outlasted just about everybody on that coaching staff or on the sideline staff except Deuce Gruden. Deuce has been here seems like he's been here since he was born. Yeah, I honestly don't know. If we're gonna go with another offensive coordinator, and again, it's all on who's gonna want to come here with Pete Carroll here, knowing what we just did this past season. And I think the other selling point is what if Brendan Carroll's still running the offensive line, and if that offensive coordinator can say something like put his foot down and say, "I can't have this guy running my offensive line. Look what happened last year." If that's the case, you're setting me as the OC up for failure already before I even start talking to players, just by you wanting me to come in and be your OC. And if I accept it, I'm already setting myself up and you're setting me up for failure by not allowing me to move on from him. Because as long as Brendan Carroll is involved with this offensive line, it's going to be shit. I don't care who the fuck we have here. It's going to be a crap offensive line. So that's number one. That guy's got to go. If we don't fire Pete Carroll, he has to go. Plain and simple. You want to keep him on the staff, move him somewhere else, let him do something else, like assistant towel boy or ball wiper or whatever. I don't give a shit. But he cannot be the offensive line coach or offensive line coordinator. He can't be um, the run game. That's the other one that kills me. You know, just you're gonna get me heated. I don't want to be heated on Christmas Eve or Christmas morning. Let's see. We landed in the go back to start space yet again. Yeah, we landed in jail. Do not goes directly to jail. Do not pass go. If you pass go, do not collect $200. Yeah, or go back to start. Yep. Shoots and ladders, and we just hit the chute, and we're going right back down to the bottom again. Feels like the only rivalry the Raiders have had lately is their own coaching staff. Yeah, their own coaching staff, Raider Nation itself, because you got half want this guy, half want that guy, half don't like this, half don't like that. This one doesn't like that one. This one sucks. You know, Gentry's horrible. Gentry's awesome. He's just not his fault. It's so much divide right now, man. And that's the other thing. The only way the divide is going to break is we start winning again. Until we start winning, just like I've said before, with the two slogans that you used to hear all the time, just win, baby, which can't even say it anymore right now because we're just not winning, period. Obviously the new one is just tank, baby, which is stupid. And the other one's commitment to excellence because we're not committed to anything other than below mediocrity. Mediocrity. It's horrible. I want to get back to where we can say with confidence commitment to excellence. I want to get back to saying with confidence, just win, baby. So when the games start on Sunday, you can look at your guy sitting next to you that's a Raiders fan and say, just win, baby, let's go. Now it's all empty words. It doesn't mean jack shit because the product on the field is just garbage. This is 2 seasons of just complete shit football. Even last year, as bad as it was, I'd rather have last year than what we're going through right now. Last year, at least I had some confidence at the end of the season. I got nothing going into the end of this season. I am not confident at all if we don't make a change. If we stay with what we have now for a coaching staff, our season's over already. Before we even draft, before free agent starts, we're already done. We're going to be a crap team again. I can't see us digging out of this hole with this staff. I'm sorry. What's up, Raider Pete? What's going on, my guy? Kind of want to beat KC no matter who starts. For me, the team Andy is exposed without kind of. Oh, definitely. Let's put it this way: if we lose to the Giants, right? If we lose to the Giants, we'd move into number one. And I think it wouldn't matter if the Giants win or lose. I'm not sure. There's got to be a scenario out there with who somebody wants to look it up and let me know. Who would win? Like who would ultimately have the number one pick if the Giants beat us and then we still beat KC, but if the Giants lose the following week, we'd be tied again. Would that put them back? Because it's the whole strength of schedule. I don't even know who the Giants play at the end. Oh, losing to the Giants puts us in the number one spot. And then we either need to lose to KC or the Giants win. If the Giants win the final week of the season and we beat KC, we're still number one because we'd be one game, but we'd only be at 3 wins. They'd be at 4, right? 4, 2, 3. Yeah, I think. I don't know. I'm fucking confused now. Oh, I'm way behind on the chat. Holy shit. Wow, I'm like 10 minutes over rush. I should be drunk. We need to look at the spot track contracts on O-line players. Form a plan on spending a big portion to a proven line. There's some good offensive linemen, young ones too, and some veterans I wouldn't mind bringing in just to help out with these young guys as a rotational system. Let's see. That's all I do is type to my cell phone. Did I miss somebody popping in? Did I see AO? Somebody just mentioned AO in here. I don't see it. Initially, I was cool with Pete, but when he assigned his kid to, like I said, I was fine with Pete when he first got here. All the coaches need to go. Yep. Let's see. Brennan Carroll doesn't deserve Run Jones old either. Yeah, true. Run Jones. I haven't heard that name in a while. Let's see. He gets to be nothing. I'm on his ass out of here. Yeah, if Pete Carroll's gone, I don't want a single soul left on this coaching staff. Patrick Graham included. Bye-bye. See ya. Oh, yeah, pride and poise, yep. Will to win is the slogan that we need now. Trying to catch up with you guys. How you ready, Jeff? Do you think if you get Tom Brady more involved with the team next year, we start doing better? It can't hurt, that's for sure. If he gets more involved, it definitely can't hurt anything. I mean, how much worse can we get than what we are right now? You know, how much can he get involved with him? Because of the contract with Fox and everything, he's very limited to what he can do. With his involvement with the team. I mean, shit. As it is now, he can't even partake in some of the pregame meetings that the pre-production meetings that they do leading up to the game that he's going to be broadcasting on Sundays, because he's part owner of an NFL team. He has to do everything via computer, like through Zoom. He can't be in the same room with them, and he's got limited stuff that he can ask them. So, and I think it's also the same thing with him being around the team. Like, he can't go in the locker room at certain points. I don't even know if he can attend practice. I have no idea. I honestly don't know. I think he is limited, though. Losing to Giants actually helps because they for sure will trade down. Yeah, and I'll tell you, they're going to trade with the Jets, man. We're watching a famous Christmas movie tomorrow morning, and the flick is called Die Hard. Absolutely. Anybody in here? I know I asked earlier. Nobody really said anything. Anybody in here a fan of Fallout? The series, the game, whatever? Because, man, season 2 just started last week. And the second episode dropped last night at midnight, and I watched it this morning. I actually spent Tuesday, rewatching season 1 again before I finished watching. Before I watched episode 2, and then I watched episode 1 from last week, and then episode 2. That's a great series, man. What if we tie with New York and both teams win their last game? Yeah, I don't know. What's up, Jonathan Taylor? What's going on, man? Merry Christmas to you. Yes, they are. The Raiders are awesome. Awesomely bad. Tom Brady will get people in the door, but executing hires, not at all. Oh, well, we thought he was going to get certain players and coaches in here last year, and that didn't pan out. Although Stafford used us, there's no two ways about it. Let's see. Fallout series is badass. I'm going to be watching as we speak, dude. It's awesome. And because my daughter watches it too, and she's played Fallout, and I have Fallout 4. She's played it too. I'm like, it's making me want to reinstall it and play it again now. I mean, I got it on my Xbox. I get to go play on the living room, but I'd rather play here on the PC because I can watch TV while I'm playing. Looks like I'm caught up with the chat. So let's see. What are the games tomorrow? Let's talk about the games tomorrow, Christmas Day. Let's see. So we have tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We got two teams that are out of the playoffs, Dallas and Washington. Washington's favored? Yeah, by 9.5. No, that can't be right. Am I reading that wrong? No, Dallas is favored by 9.5. Wow, the over and under is 50.50.5. Then at 4:30, we got Detroit at Minnesota. Detroit's favored by 7.5. Detroit needs this game. Tomorrow night's game, man. Amazon gets a shitty game too. It's such a good game last Thursday night. Amazon's Thursday night games this year have just sucked, man. Last Thursday night's game was good. That was probably the best one of the season, without a doubt. Probably the best game all season, period. But tomorrow night at 8:15 on Amazon, they've got Denver at Kansas City. Denver is a 13.5-point favorite. The over-under is 36.5. That's Denver all day long. KC is so bad. And even if we beat the Chiefs, it's going to be an empty victory, I think. Because I want to beat them when Mahomes is playing. I don't want to beat them because they got their third string quarterback out there and other guys are sitting because they're injured or they don't want to get guys hurt. And I want to play them when they're at their top and beat them that way. I don't want to beat them when they're playing complete scrubs. That's my feeling. But you see, this may sound crazy, but it's still awesome. I had a dream Raiders hired Woodson as the DC. He can't even be a coach because he's part owner now of the Cleveland Browns. So we can't even bring him in as like a consultant or anything. So the only thing he's going to be allowed to do is be part of a Raider alumni weekend. That's about it. And obviously probably signings and shit like that. But he became, a minority owner of the Browns. So it's like, fuck. That would be cool though. Be watching on 4K disc, which is best and only way to watch a movie, in my opinion. I'm watching on whatever streaming service I can watch it tomorrow. I will watch that tomorrow. I haven't seen that movie in years. Kingsbury's offense is not so good without. Oh no, absolutely. He's the type that rides the QB's talent coattails. Yeah, he rode the shit out of it with Kyler Murray, and then Kyler Murray just said, "No, I'm going to keep getting injured." Fitting Cowboys and Indians fighting on Jesus' birthday. Fuck. You should look into Streamio with Tarantino. Add on, they have 4K rips that you can stream through a private server. Shit is the best thing I've come across on the internet in a while. Ugh. Ooh, I'm yawning. Let's see, I've been on for an hour and a half. Let me see. What have we got? I got anything special I can show you? I already played the new intro. Well, not the full new intro, but like a rough copy of it. Oh, this is so big. There we go. That's better. back to the chat. One guy that I still feel has a lot of fire when he speaks about the Raiders is Bill Romanowski. Would he ever leave his analyst job? I don't know if I'd want him as a coach. He's a little too fucking crazy. I don't think he's that stable upstairs either. He might actually come out to practice as a coach, but wearing full pads and stop fucking hitting guys because he's just that. I think he's that deranged. Damn, Jeff has me on. Sorry. Jeff, you are GM and draft us tomorrow. What's your plan? And we have number 1 overall pick. I don't know who my coach is. I don't know who my offensive coordinator is. I don't know what we've done in free agency. See what I did there? I refuse to answer that question. Mike Cox small. Yours is? Not mine. I'm going to grow it on the show. My nephew is in the movie A Christmas Story, so I always got to watch that one every year. Really? The original one? Who's your nephew in that one? That's cool. You got a celebrity in the family. Cool. If we had the number 1 pick and someone had a gun to my head and said, you need to make this pick now, regardless of what you're going to do in free agency and no matter who the coach is. Well, if that's the case, then I'm going with Bain or I'm going with Caleb Downs. I'm not even going to touch a quarterback. I can't. I would have more faith in a defensive player than I would as with a rookie quarterback if I don't know the full parameters of what we've got for coaching staff or what we've done in free agency. Because I think with defensive rookies like that, you could plug them in and they'll be good. Quarterback, man, that's a whole different story. Whole different story. You're talking about a highly skilled position, and this person this player that you're drafting, this young man who's probably just barely old enough to drink, has a lot riding on his shoulders. He played Randy the kid. Oh, no shit. The kid that gets that's awesome. That's awesome. I didn't know that. So that's your nephew, huh? Still my favorite scenes when he's in his all buttoned up in his snowsuit and everything. Can't even move. Yeah, I would feel safe. I would feel safer picking a defensive player versus a rookie quarterback if that's the case. Again, man, there's too many question marks at that point. It's not a comfortable decision. Well, it's an hour and a half. I'm going to I think I'm going to call it. I appreciate everybody being in here. This has been fun. It's been real fun, actually. I've enjoyed every minute of this. Kind of glad I did this. I haven't done just a straight up solo like this in a while, where I just get on here and just talk. I don't have to worry about anybody else being in here. I don't have to worry about giving time for someone else to talk. Blah blah blah. Let me see. I don't think there's anything else that we. Anybody got anything you guys want to throw out there? Any questions? I may pop on tomorrow. I don't know if I want to go live for that shitty game tomorrow night, though. Ugh. It's just going to be such a dog shit game. Although, I mean, it's still going to be nice to watch the Chiefs get their ass kicked. You're welcome, Frank. I appreciate everybody in here. So let me do this here. All right. I think that's going to do it for this Midnight Raiders Mass. Christmas is here now. It's 1:37 in the morning in the East Coast. Everybody's been flowing with the eggnog somewhere out there. Raider Claus is on the move again. Hopefully bringing something silver and black worth waking up for tomorrow, everybody. Remember, no matter the season, no matter the record, this nation always shows up. And that's what matters. So, Merry Christmas, Raider Nation. Stay loud, stay loyal, and remember, Silent Night was never meant for us. Remember that. So be loud, be proud, and everybody, have a wonderful Christmas with your family, whatever you're going to do tomorrow. Enjoy. Everybody stay safe. Don't drink and drive tomorrow. And especially next Wednesday night. I will be on next Wednesday night, and I will remind people, do not drink and drive, especially on New Year's Eve. It's amateur hour. All the assholes and idiots that don't normally go out are going to be out on the road and in force. So again, everybody stay safe. Go Raiders. Merry Christmas.
It was winter, and the league had already written their ending. As snow fell on broken seasons, and the faithful were told to look away. But Raider Nation does not look away. The silver was still cold, the black still heavy with history. 2 games remained, not for glory, but for judgment. Were gone. The pain, well documented. Yet in the shadows of Christmas lights and the ticking clock of a dying year, something waited, the first pick, a reckoning, a weapon yet to be named. They called it a lost season. We call it the long night before the return. Approaching, draft boards trembling. Silver and black does not die, it reloads.